Hi guys, welcome back to the Miscalculations of Lightning Girl video series. I'm the author Stacy McAnulty. This video is intended for readers who have finished chapters 1 through 3. So if you finish those chapters, you know that Lucy is an acquired savant. She is a math genius and she acquired this ability due to a head injury. And in Lucy's case, it was lightning. She was holding onto that chain link fence that was struck by lightning, and the electricity ran through the fence, ran through Lucy, and rewired her brain. I'm often asked why I chose a lightning strike to alter Lucy's brain. Well, I read stories about all different ways this has happened to people, from hitting their head on the bottom of the pool, to falling and having a head injury, to having things lodged into the brain. And I can tell you, I am not a big fan of gore. I cannot write something that would be considered gory. Like, I don't want to describe blood. I don't want to describe gray matter. So I needed a head injury that didn't need a lot of gory description. So I thought a lightning strike fit that description. Also, the cool thing, is that the right word? The cool thing? The neat thing about lightning is that it's everywhere. So if you're reading this in North Carolina, where I live, or New York, where I used to live, California, Alaska, Hawaii, wherever, there's lightning everywhere. And you were probably taught from a young age that if there's a thunderstorm and there is lightning, seek shelter, get out of the way. We all know this. Lucy should have known this. So I felt like it was something that my readers, my young readers, would identify with. So that's why I went with lightning strike. I didn't find it particularly gory, and I thought all readers know that a lightning strike is scary. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is this idea of graduating school early, that I'm often questioned about that. Like, well, she's just a math genius. How could she be good at things like social studies or language arts? The cool thing about math is you can apply it to a lot of things. So this is how I imagined it for Lucy. Like with social studies, she'd be really good at memorizing dates. She'd be really good at memorizing names without even really working at it, because she's taking all those letters and turning them into numbers. And we know that she never forgets any number. So things just lock in her brain. Like once she reads them, it's locked in there. So I don't go too deep into that in the book, but I think you can take math and kind of put it to any subject. Even, if she's learning a foreign language, it's to memorize words, that she could equate it to math. Again, she's not going to be maybe particularly good at speaking a foreign language, but just the memorizing part would be enough to get her by. In these chapters, you also see that Lucy doesn't have any in-person friends yet. Her friends are online. How do you guys feel about online friends? Do you have online friends? So I do. You are in my home office. This is where I work. I usually work alone. I don't have a coworker here other than there's a couple dogs running around. So for me to connect with people, a lot of times it's online. I talk to a lot of other authors. I can sit here and text them or chat with them. So that's kind of my way of connecting. So I can relate to that. It's not as fun as being in person, but I do think you can have friendship there. Now, but a lot of times I've met these people in person. When you've not met someone online, there's a little bit of a risk there. And Lucy's taking some risks with connecting with these people, and of course there's issues with internet safety too, so we got to be careful who we meet if online if we haven't met them in person. Now, when I wrote this book, it was well before the pandemic. It was well before we all went through quarantine, and this whole idea of online learning and this homeschooling was really kind of new to me. I have 3 kids and they all go to public school, so I had to do some research on homeschooling and what it's like to learn at home. But now, you guys are probably experts. A lot of you watching this video probably had at least a little bit of time in 2020 where you were learning at home. Did you like it? Were you able to be, was it a good way for you to learn? Or was it exhausting? Was it not something that, you could really latch on to? Again, I have 3 kids. One of my kids, she crushed it. She loved it. Now my son, not so much. So everyone's different, but it's been kind of interesting to see my kids really go through some of this online learning, which is just something I imagined Lucy doing. So that's all I'm going to say about these couple of chapters. I'll catch up with you after you read 4, 5, and 6. Thanks, guys.